Y'all doing? Sorry, had a little moon down there. All right. So, tonight we are going over um, ODD TV. He has a lot of weird thoughts about the moon. I have all of his thoughts kind of listed in the description with links that disprove each one of those stupid ideas. So, if you want to learn more about that, learn it a bit better than I'll probably recite it tonight, please go there, check out all of those resource links, and we're going to be looking at his video. It is only a section of the video that was posted to the Skeptic Mafia earlier today, which we are going to go over their comments as well tonight about the video. ADTV put out a video called it's like a defense of the flat Earth model. Forget what it's fucking called. Wait, here it is. The case for flat Earth is what it's technically called. So, ODD TV put this out, and he's got a whole bunch of arguments, kind of like his Stranger's Guide to the Flat Earth thing, where he answers questions. This is more proposed as like his ultimate case that the Earth is flat, the sun is local, and so is the moon. And he has a section in here primarily about the moon. And then the rest of the video is crazy as shit, going through anti-Semitic shit, as well as NASA's fake and a lie, which we're going to see a little bit of that here with Google and the CIA. But, yeah, this is primarily about the moon. So let's get on into the video, and let's see what the fuck he has for us. And I not going to shit you, some of the things are just going to make you facepalm into next week.
Welcome to ODD TV.
Kill the programming.
I like how his like tagline or like the main message that he wants to push is kill the programming. And like his little avatar, there is a guy with the television on his head, and he's got a gun and he's going to shoot himself in the head. I mean, honestly, I don't see how he can get verified on YouTube and have a guy basically committing suicide, regardless if it's a TV head guy, but I digress. The case for flat Earth.
Now let's talk about the moon. Here's a normal moon in the night sky.
Wait, here's a normal moon in the night sky? What other kind of moon is there in the night sky?
The abnormal.
The abnormal moon? Does it have like a weird kind of fucking growth on it? And it's kind of like cancer?
Oh, it's got like crazy hair that's purple.
It's got crazy hair that's purple. Yes, honey, that's exactly what the fuck it is.
We are told that the moon is 238,000 miles away. The funny thing is that the Tycho Crater, which is said to only be 53 miles in radius, is perfectly visible to us from Earth at this distance.
Okay, so real quick, we got Spotted Hyena that did a super chat. Thank you, Spotted Hyena. Oof! Why? Why Earth? Why do we have these people? Oh well, it never fails to amaze me. I agree. It never fails to amaze me, and every time I look at one of these big YouTubers in one of their videos, they always have something crazy that I just haven't even fucking heard yet. And it's really fascinating because then I've got to go and research and look up and how to explain this shit and everything like that. And so it's a really interesting endeavor for me. So, yeah.
Guess about this.
Sure.
Is it highly reflective?
That's part of it. Thanks for ruining my jam.
Hey, I didn't even research. I'm just guessing because
I know you are, honey. Okay, so hold on. He's going to continue. I will say this, that yes, the moon is 238,000 miles away. There's multiple ways in which you can know this. Most notably, you can bounce laser beams off of the moon, and you can time the amount of time that it takes to travel there and reflect back, do the simple math on it, and you'll get the 238,000 figure. Oh, okay. So everybody that's joined, I'm drinking Budweiser Copper Lager. You guys don't know what Copper Lager is? That is Budweiser that got brewed, and then it was aged on a real Jim Beam barrel stave. That's like an old Jim Beam barrel that it was it was kept in or something. So they aged it in that, and so it's got a really nice flavor to it, but it's super limited edition. So I bought like 4 packs of it. I'm gonna be drinking this for a while, or the next 2 weeks. But it is good, I'm telling you. It's got like 15 carbs in it too, so I got to be conservative about it a little bit. Anyways, thanks to all the skeptic mafia members in there that are using the emoticons, emojis, whatever. Please keep doing that. I love seeing you guys do it. So, the moon is definitely 238 miles away, like relatively. I mean, that number is going to vary with the orbit of the moon. The Tycho Crater was named after Tycho Brahe. He was a scientist and whatnot. And it is 53. It's not 53 miles like radius. It's the diameter is 53 miles, I believe. It's the Tycho Crater is about 54 miles in diameter and covers about 2,900 square miles. So it's no small thing. It's a pretty big fucking thing up there. And just to let you guys know about why you can see it from the Earth, is because for one thing, the high contrast of the moon when the sunlight is reflected off of it allows you to see that crater. The center of the crater is much brighter than the contrasting material that's around the crater. And then also if you can notice in the picture here, there's this extensive network of rays emanating out from the crater. This naturally draws your eyes to the crater so that you notice it more. He's about to go through why he thinks this proves that the moon is actually small and local.
So I tried to figure out a way to test if we would be able to see the Tycho Crater from a distance of 238,000 miles away. I went to Google Earth, and I made a 53-mile radius in Texas, as you can see here. And you can also do this yourself. Then I zoomed out as far as I could, and unfortunately it only goes to 39,000 miles away, but it still makes the point in my opinion. You can barely see the 53-mile radius from 39,000 miles away.
Okay, so for one thing, Google Earth wouldn't be a perfect representation of how we would view the Earth from 39,000 miles away from the Earth. It's just not an actual what you would see from that position. Also, though, what you have is not a very high contrast surface there. I mean, obviously the red contrasts against the ground color, but from this distance, you just wouldn't be able to see that because of all the varying colors of the Earth. Whereas on the moon, it's a very high contrast, kind of really white and kind of gray to black, and it allows it to be seen better. Now, also a thing that's missing are the extensive rays that are coming out of the Tycho Crater that draw your eye into it. Also, the very center of that 53, which it's not radius, it's diameters. It's diameter, 54-mile diameter of it. Like the center of it is not brighter than the contrasting material around it and everything. So it's not really comparable, if you get what I mean. The Earth
so,
is.
You would have to the same on Earth.
The factor.
Factor.
It's a false equivalence that he's trying to do here, and he's doing it disingenuously in order to prove that it's got to be small and local, and it's not.
If I were to go another 200,000 miles out, we surely would not be able to see the red circle anymore. Of course, Google Earth is complete nonsense. Let's watch a quick clip in reference to Google Earth.
Okay. So basically, what he's going to show here is a clip about Google Earth, and I'll explain some shit after he actually plays the clip.
All right, here's what looks like an objective image of the world. This is Google Earth, and it's a circular image, so it gets around the big problem of trying to portray the world on a flat surface. Now, you have a lot of reservations, don't you, about Google Earth? Yet, to many people, it's a wonderful application.
It is great technology, and that's what I first thought when I started doing the work on it. But I do now think that because of the way in which they have bought up so much of the data, which they fed into this geospatial application, is what they call it, they are monopolizing maps online. If you go online and you're using maps, you are probably using a Google map. And there's also some sort of sinister and worrying dimensions to Google, because they buy Earth Viewer, which is the application, and that is funded by the CIA.
We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. William Casey, director of the CIA in 1981.
Okay, so this is what you would call a genetic fallacy. Basically, he's saying that this program comes from the CIA, and this one guy says the CIA just produces things to lie to people, and therefore it can't be trusted, which I don't know why he thinks that using Google Earth to prove that the Tycho Crater can't be that far away when Google Earth itself is lying. I don't understand why he thinks that would be a persuasive argument, especially after this. I mean, it wasn't persuasive before, but now he just looks fucking confused as shit. But the CIA funded the creation of the Earth Viewer, and that what they did was they created it to help their operations in Iraq. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for them to create this application that just lies and then use it in critical operations for the CIA. Like, that seems like you're building a gun to shoot yourself in the foot at that point. So I don't know exactly why he's bringing up this genetic fallacy or what he hopes to accomplish by it, but at this point, including this just makes him look fucking nuts.
The CIA's whole purpose is to dispense propaganda and disinformation.
So anyway, we were talking about the moon.
I would not say that that is what the CIA is meant to do. I mean, they only operate on foreign lands. So, I mean, they carry out operations over there, and they do whatever the fuck they do. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if taking one particular quote from one particular guy who worked with the CIA really proves that the CIA is out to, like, you know, lie to the American public, which is what he seems to want to imply here.
And how being able to see Tycho Crater doesn't make sense. Now let's look at an image of the moon during the day. Now,
I like how it's, now let's look at an image of the moon during the day. We've been looking at an image of the moon during the day. So I don't know, like, you should have said that when it swapped over. But anyways, that's just a little pedantic on my part.
Just think about this. Why would we ever see the moon during the day? I mean, if it's 238,000 miles deep into the darkness of outer space, how does it show up in our blue sky?
Why do we even see the moon at all, let alone during the day? Like, if it's out in the blackness of space, how do we fucking see it? Well, okay, so let me painfully explain this to you. You have the sun that's in the center of the solar system. That sun emanates light, and then that light bounces off shit. So, in the case of this particular one, light is bouncing off of the moon and reflecting back down to the earth. So when you fucking gaze up into the sky, yes, you could see the moon because the moon is illuminated by the sun's light. I don't know how else to explain that to you, but there you go. It's the sun's light reflected off of the moon. Let's see. I had Drew's book reviews. Wizards' first rule: people are stupid. People believe a lie because they want it to be true, or because they are afraid it's true. ODD TV proves the rule true. He does want it to be true or afraid it is. Oh, does he want it to be true or afraid it is? I think he wants the flat earth thing to be true, so he finds ways to actually argue for it.
The answer again is because it's local, just like the sun, just like the ancients depicted in their models, and just like many flat earthers propose today. To be fair, we are not sure of the exact layout and model, but we do know two things for sure. The earth is a level plane and it doesn't move at all. Everything after that, we are still trying to figure out.
Okay, I can, I guess, appreciate the still trying to figure out everything else, but you have to understand that by saying that it's a level plane, it doesn't move, and the sun and the moon rotate in the sky above the flat earth with this weird fucking flat earth model, you have to understand how many questions that creates. You can't just brush it off as like, oh, we're still figuring shit out. It's like, no, I mean, we thought this before, but now we know better. So we've figured shit out. You're just wanting to regress backwards a few, like, hundreds or thousands of years. It would be thousands of years, actually. So you have to understand how many questions this creates. And so in order for you to state something so positively true, you need a lot of evidence to suggest that it is. And I get that you guys have quote unquote evidence, but it's not really evidence, is it? Because none of it actually matches up with reality. None of it is actually provable. And most of it is just baseless fucking assertions.
How do lunar eclipses work, you ask? Well, certainly not like we are told.
Certainly not like we are told. Please inform me as to how it works.
We see the shadow of Earth on the moon and it appears to be round, therefore we live on a ball.
Okay, I can understand making this mistake. I've made it once before too when I misspoke about things. Xander, are you okay? Alright. So, I mean, I understand making this mistake, but it's not the Earth's shadow that gets cast on the moon. That does not explain the phases of the moon. The phases of the moon are explained by the orbit around the Earth and the Earth's spin. Those things are what give the moon its phases. The only time that the Earth's shadow is cast upon the moon is during eclipses. And I know that he prefaced this with eclipses, but I didn't feel like he really specified what he was talking about here. So he kind of made it sound like the moon, anytime there's a shadow on the moon, I mean, it's the Earth's shadow, but that's not actually correct. Now, another thing is that, yes, because the shadow is of a crescent kind of shape or it bends or whatnot on the moon, that's how we were able to figure out that the moon is spherical. And so that was painfully obvious to people.
But whatever is causing the shadow on the moon, we don't even know. It's not the Earth. There's been so many instances of lunar eclipses where the sun and the moon are both above the horizon while the eclipse is taking place. Look it up for yourself. It's called a Selenelion.
I feel like he's gonna use that in his next rap video or something, like Selenelion. I can see him saying that because it's a fun word to say. Selenelion. Okay, so this is an actual phenomenon, and it only happens every once in a while, so it's very rare. But what happens is that during a full eclipse, the time of the eclipse matches up with the time that the sun is supposed to rise. And due to refraction over the Earth's atmosphere, or due to the Earth's atmosphere, the sunrise will seem to start before the full eclipse is done. So you will actually be able to see the sun and the fully eclipsed moon at the same time. Now, like I said, this is a very rare occurrence that happens, but it happens because of the atmospheric refraction. We're able to see the sun before it's actually risen, and we're able to see the moon after it's actually set. So that's the explanation for that. It's really easy to look up, but he wants to cast doubt on the entire geometry and physics behind eclipses.
And you can find websites that'll tell you. There, I'll show you one right here. What makes October 8th lunar eclipse so special? It's an impossible occurrence.
Actually, it says quote-unquote impossible occurrence because of how eclipses work. The only way that eclipses work is when the moon is directly 180 degrees from the sun on the other side of the earth. Therefore, the Earth's shadow is cast upon the moon. For total eclipses, it covers the entire thing. So that's why it should be impossible, but it is possible to see it due to atmospheric refraction.
It says, on Wednesday early morning, those watching the sky in North America will be able to witness the most unique total lunar eclipse yet. Though lunar eclipses happen twice a year, you might be upset to miss this one, as this rare type of eclipse will occur while the sun is still up. Now, how is the Earth causing the shadow on the moon if the sun is still up above the horizon with the moon?
So he's talking about it like the sun is like at 10 a.m. in the sky, and the moon, is directly opposite of that, and like there's an eclipse there that that's happening. But it's just like right at sunrise and right at moon set that it happens, and you can see both of them at the same time during an eclipse. It's very explainable through atmospheric refraction.
In an old book by F.H. Cook called The Terrestrial Plane, it says this: according to the globular theory, a lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, earth, and moon are in a direct line. But it is on record that since about the 15th century, over 50 eclipses have occurred while both sun and moon have been visible above the horizon.
Now, let's have a look at the stars. When you look at the time-lapse videos of the stars, they all move uniformly. This might make sense on a spinning globe if the only thing we were doing was spinning. However, mainstream science not only tells us that the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, but we are also told that we orbit around the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour. In addition to that, our solar system, Earth and all, rolls around the center of the galaxy at 490,000 miles per hour. And finally, the entire Milky Way galaxy is traveling through space at over 1 million miles per hour. Keep in mind that none of these motions have ever been proven.
Actually, they have been proven. Now, this is the case of number salad. They're just throwing big numbers out there, which actually, thinking about it, I find it quite ironic that they are using these big numbers in order to persuade people that this is just ridiculous. They're using those big numbers for that. But at the same time, they can't grasp like the enormity of the entire universe. Like, you can't, like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me for you to do both things. Like, I don't understand how you can do that. It seems internally hypocritical, and I don't know how you actually reconcile that. I mean, I get that it's cognitive dissonance and you just reject the information that goes against it, but it's still just amazing to me the contrast of those two things.
Not even Earth's supposed rotation. With all of these motions considered, is this what we would see night after night for thousands of years?
Well, yes, it is. And actually, the stars over time actually do move. Did you know that you can actually, like, if you were to go back in time, say 500 years or so, you were to go back in time then, and you were to look at the stars and compare it to star charts that we have now, you would be able to tell how much time you actually traveled back due to the shift, like the astronomical shift in the stars and everything like that. You'd have to go pretty far back, in order to to see the difference. But the difference is there. I mean, it was only like a few thousand years ago where we had a different North Star, and a few thousand years from now we'll have a different North Star than we have now. Because of how we're moving through the universe. Just because the universe is quite expansive and it takes covering such large distances that we have trouble even imagining them, doesn't mean that the entire universe like orbits around us. Like the entire universe doesn't move around us.
No. They also tell us that the stars are distant suns, but they look like orbs of dancing energy when you zoom in on them with a high-power zoom camera, and considering how far away they are, should we even be able to zoom into them in the first place?
Oh, she was so close to saying P900. Come on, ODD, you gotta give us some of that good P900 shit. Okay, so yeah, what you're doing is you're looking at these other stars or suns or whatnot through our atmosphere. Not only that, but light is a wave that shifts with distance and whatnot, and with speed. So that's the redshift is actually how we first got our inkling about how old the universe is and whatnot. So because you're looking through our atmosphere all the way out into these stars, no matter how far you zoom in on them, the atmosphere is going to distort it, as well as other things that, happen in the universe distorts it. That's why you have like high-powered telescopes, like the Hubble telescope, or the one that's going to be going up soon, or the WMAP out there that is in the L3 spot on the other side of the moon, and they take pictures out there because it's not hindered by our atmosphere. So, but I mean, that's not to say that you can't see like other solar systems or whatnot from here on Earth. You can with proper equipment, not a P900 or a P1000, but actual fucking good telescopes.
Now let's talk about planets. People always ask me, why is Earth the only planet that's flat? And it's simple, really. It's because Earth is not a planet. Planets were known to the ancients as wandering stars. Let's have a look at the etymology of the word. This is from the online etymology dictionary. Wandering stars. See, that's what you need to pay attention to. Wandering stars. That's what these were called, planets. And we weren't considered a wandering star. Now let's keep going. From planistai to wander, so called because they have apparent motion unlike the fixed stars. Originally included also the sun and moon.
Okay, so I like how he's trying to use this etymology fallacy in order to say that they're wandering stars or whatnot. Obviously, the ancient people were able to look at them and see that these stars moved, from month to month, year to year, whatnot. They moved in the sky. And actually, that movement is one of the things that the Ptolemaic, however you pronounce that model, the geocentric model, that's why it had to have epicycles to account for the movement of the planets. And they realized that these weren't just like wandering stars or whatnot, but I mean the planet or whatnot word stuck with it, and that's fine. This doesn't actually prove that they are actually stars that wander or anything like that. And just because they said that the other stars are fixed doesn't mean that they're actually fixed in the universe and everything moves around us. That's ridiculous. Of course, from our perspective here on Earth, it does seem like the stars are fixed in the sky because they don't actively move from night to night and whatnot. They do move over the course of the night, but what I'm saying is that their actual positions in the sky seem to not move night to night. But 6 months or the Earth in one position and then it has one night sky, and then fast forward 6 months to the other position and you're going to have different stars in the sky. So I mean, he's just trying to use etymology in order to prove his point, but etymology is not going to help.
Okay, so they move in a completely different way than the regular uniform stars that all move the exact same, originally included the sun and moon. Also, Earth was originally not included because it's not a planet, it's a plane.
This is such a fucking stupid argument. The Earth is not a planet because it wasn't considered a wandering star. Yeah, no shit they didn't consider it a wandering star. They were standing on the motherfucker. It can't wander. Fuck. I know. I know everybody is gonna understand because I fucking forget to refocus my shit, and it has an automatic time off thing which I can't control it very specifically because of the type of camera that I bought. I found out, so yeah, I'm stuck with this for a while. Anyways, so yeah, they're not fucking wandering stars, you dipshit.
You can find the planets of the universe encoded in our weekdays. Sunday is Sun. Monday is Moon. Tuesday is Mars. Wednesday is Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Saturn. All 7 wandering stars are accounted for.
Okay. It says all 7 wandering stars, and he's about to get to that in a minute. But I would also like to say that just because people use the planets in order to, you know, set weekday names or whatnot, which I didn't verify if this is even correct, regardless of whether or not it's correct as far as the origin of the names, which I don't really have a lot to doubt in it. But anyways, it doesn't actually prove his point. Just because people use things that were familiar to them to name other things doesn't mean that they aren't actually planets and shit.
You're probably wondering about Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Well, as you may know, Pluto was demoted from planet status in 2006, and there is much debate online as to whether Uranus and Neptune should even be considered.
Okay, so first of all, I want to point out the very bottom link there says blog waffle or blog waff or something. I don't know. It looks like a shitty fucking blog site about it. And then you got the middle one that's like breaking news, Uranus not a planet. And what I wanted to do here is to actually Uranus isn't a planet if you got a flat ass. Burn, honey, burn. So here's a quote from that particular article, and I'll let you determine as to how reliable it is. There are many other problems with maintaining planetary status for Uranus. It's not just about the size. For one thing, Uranus is green, and no other planet is green. Clearly, it doesn't belong in our solar system. So, I would venture to guess that no actual fucking scientist would cite a planet being green as the reason why it's not a planet. This is either a joke article, it's a fake news article, or something like that. Regardless of that, it's not, that's not anything that a scientist would say. Spotted hyena BR again. Now they are considering scientific methods, huh? Funny. That's right, they are. They trust these scientists, the fake fucking scientists, not real scientists.
If not, then we are back at 6 planets, but that's including the Earth. Take away the Earth because it's not a planet and add the Sun and Moon back in, and we're back at the original 7 planets.
I wonder if the Fiverr chick that is recording for ODD TV, like, I wonder if if she does this. I wonder if she does this and then it's like, this shit is fucking stupid. I mean, are you hearing this shit? Dude paid me about $5, or not $5, $50 in order to read all this shit. So I don't know, I guess so. Fucking stupid shit.
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't read it either.
Rez is
I know. Hey there, Red's Rhetoric. I appreciate you being in the chat, bro.
Now let's have a look at what we are told the solar system looks like. Central sun, hence heliocentric, and the planets all going around it. Now, just like pictures of the Earth, you can't find any real pictures of the so-called solar system.
Here's what you get when you do a search for real pictures of the solar system. A bunch of cartoons.
The argument is that we just can't go out far enough and take pictures of the solar system, bro. It's not that simple. Well, I beg to differ.
NASA claims to have the Hubble telescope taking real pictures of distant galaxies. Here's one right here. Look up spiral galaxy pair NGC 4302 and NGC 4298, but they tell us that the Hubble is only 350 miles away, so maybe we can't get pictures of our solar system with Hubble.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because it gets hilarious. Okay, so basically, these two systems right here are approximately 55 million light years away. All right, they reside in the constellation Coma Berenices. Sorry if I butchered that. In the massive Virgo cluster of galaxies. So I mean, it's 55 million light years away. Okay. The Hubble telescope took pictures of them, okay? Now, I want you to try to point out the fucking Earth, like an Earth-sized planet in these two galaxies, or any kind of fucking planet, or anything in these galaxies from this distance, okay? You can't. But they expect us to get a picture of our solar system. Fucking, which one was it? The two satellites that got shot and they just recently... was it the Galileo satellite? Let's see, satellite. Voyager! Fucking yeah. Voyager. Sorry. Not Galileo. Voyager! Thank you, everybody in the chat, for correcting me there. Voyager, I couldn't think of it. I know you did. I was thanking you. I know, honey. Voyager. And everybody in the chat. But Voyager is the first satellite that has actually exited the solar system, and I think by the time that it actually exited, it had very little power to actually run off of. So I mean, there's no way that it could get like an actual picture of it, but you also wouldn't be able to see fucking anything from that distance. Anyways, so he's about to say something really stupid. Not that he hasn't said stupid shit already. Just fucking wait.
Well, what about the Discover satellite with the epic camera? They claim that it took this shot of Earth from 1 million miles away.
If that's the case, can't they just zoom back a little bit and snap the solar system? Again, the fact is that everything we get from NASA is CGI.
I just have to laugh at that. I mean, holy fuck. Sorry, the Voyager wasn't a satellite, it was a probe. I believe is what Chrismer corrected me. Yeah, Voyager was a probe, not a satellite. So sorry about that. Probe, not a satellite. I just misspoke. But anyways, so this guy thinks that from 1 million miles away, the Discover satellite can just fucking zoom out and get a picture of the entire solar system. Well, no, Discover's a satellite. So the Discover, it can't do that. Wellington Smith, $2. GE, please say a bit about the pale blue dot. Oh yeah, so the pale blue dot is a picture, I believe, from Voyager. Pale blue dot is a picture of the Earth from. Let's see, I didn't research. Yeah. Let's see. I'm reading off the Planetary Society website right now. The pale blue dot of Earth. The image. This image is one of 60 frames taken by Voyager 1 spacecraft on February 14th, 1990, from a distance of more than 6 billion kilometers, 4 billion miles, 32 degrees above the ecliptic plane. In the image, the Earth is a mere point of light, a crescent, only about 0.12 pixel in size. Our planet was caught in the center of one of the scattered light rays resulting from taking the image so close to the sun. This image is part of Voyager 1's final photographic assignment, which it captured family portraits of the sun and planets. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. You wouldn't be able to see like individual planets and shit like you're wanting to see. We don't have a picture of our own entire solar systems. We do only have artist renditions, but those are for publicity things. That's not like scientific like images or whatever the fuck.
Start looking at it and examining it. You'll notice. Let me just say that we were discussing how the moon is local, so naturally, you're probably wondering why we can't go. Well, the thing is that none of this stuff is what we are told it is. There are documented cases of being able to see stars through the moon. So this begs the question, is the moon even a physical object?
Is the moon even a physical object? Yes, the moon is a physical object. I don't even know why you would say that it's not. I get that right now you're seeing some kind of bright spot on the dark part of the moon, but I can guarantee you that's either some kind of trick of the light or it's like a satellite or something that you're catching a glint off of or something like that. It is literally not a star.
It was also documented in the Royal Society of Philosophical Transactions from 1974. It says, an account of an appearance of light like a star seen lately in the dark part of the moon. You can download and read the whole PDF from the Royal Society website.
Okay, right. So that I did read that paper, and basically it's just a guy recounting people that say they saw it. Now, he doesn't even go to speculate like what that could be or why it's there or anything like that, but I can guarantee you that it was just some kind of trick of the light. There's multiple reasons for stars or whatnot appearing there, but he's about to use like symbolism, or not symbolism, but just symbols, graphic symbols, in order to prove his point.
This is why we have so many depictions of this throughout the world. But NASA and others maintain that the moon is a physical body that man can land on and visit, but only in the late 60s, early 70s. Is the Earth a planet?
The answer is no.
It's never been proven.
Just programmed into us.
And that's it. Globe programming.